Time-lapse of the future, a journey to the end of time. That is what we're reacting to today. So we did time-lapse of our universe in the last video, which was the time-lapse from the start of the universe till now. That was actually a very entertaining video. The music was epic. The storytelling, and Brian Cox, I love to hear how he talks about the universe. He has like such a passion towards it, so it's fun listening to him. That being said, this is time-lapse of the future, so going from now to apparently the end of the universe. So let's see what sort of theories they've come up with. There's a few different ones. Obviously they say that the universe could end with like a big rip, or the big crunch, could get a heat death or an ice death, meaning gravity could either pull the universe apart because it's ever expanding, so it could literally rip itself apart, or it could reach a point where it stops expanding and then just comes back together and crushes into itself, essentially how a black hole is formed. But I guess let's see what the video has to say. Sponsored by Protocol Labs. What does the future hold? Let's see. Okay. We're gonna get another epic video with the epic music. We may never be truly certain. Let's take a journey to the end of time. Doubling our speed every 5 seconds. Should I make this a little louder? Or is this good enough for you guys? Let me have a look.
Has ended.
Go this much.
What we do now and in the next few years will profoundly affect the next few.
That should be okay, right? Yep, we're getting it was David Attenborough. Also love David Attenborough.
Nothing stays the same on this planet. Everything changes.
Yep, always changing.
The Earth is going into one of these jumps, and you don't know what is going to be on the other side of those jumps. The Earth is always jumping.
The pole switching sides.
Things move on this planet. Things are not still.
Rapid sea level rise.
Everything is turning.
We're already in the year 20,000. Will we even be around by then? Who's to say? 100,000 now. Oh, the super volcano erupts. $400,000. Bro, this time is moving fast. Follow footprints fade. We told you to go supernova. 10 million years. Mars's moon becomes a ring. Ooh, that's interesting. Saturn's ring vanishes. What is that? Major asteroid, in fact, in 100 million years. New supercontinent.
As it begins to run out of fuel, the sun won't simply fade away to nothing. Its core will collapse, and the extra heat this generates will cause its outer layers to expand
into a red giant. 5 billion years. And then just...
The sun is now dead.
A white dwarf.
It remains slowly cooling in the freezing temperatures of deep space.
Already 100 billion years.
The fate of the sun is the same as for all stars.
Yep.
One day, they must all eventually die, and the cosmos will be plunged into eternal night.
All stars eventually will run out of fuel. The temperature of the universe drops. The stars, one by one, in the night sky.
One by one stars going out.
And there'll be no more new stars created. And so that the universe will end not with a bang, but with a whimper.
30 trillion years into the future.
And not in fire, but in ice.
The last red dwarf stars die. This music, bro. A cosmic boneyard. This is... It's essentially a graveyard now. The universe is essentially a grave. Oh, kind of sad to think about. Like, it's like a place full of life once, and then now everything is just dead and dark. Imagine that. Just 2,000 trillion years into the future. Essentially 2 quadrillion years.
With no fuel
Degenerate
left to burn,
era.
a white dwarf's faint glow comes from the last residual heat from its extinguished furnace.
Oh, these white dwarfs seem to be living
Looking at it from
quite
where
a
the
long
Earth
time
is
though.
now,
Look at the
it
years
would only
going by.
generate the same amount of light as the full moon on a clear night. The faint glow of white dwarfs will provide the only illumination in a dark and empty void littered with dead stars and black holes.
And million trillion years.
In some ways, it's kind of a ghost universe. It's the corpses, the zombie stars, that will take us into the future.
Oh, there's nothing taking us into the future. We're gonna be dead by then. We will be long gone. Neutron star collision. Any surviving life form may find refuge near these.
A black dwarf will be the final fate of those last stars. White dwarfs that have become so cold that they barely emit any more heat or light.
10
Black
trillion
dwarfs
trillion
are
years.
dark, dense, decaying balls of degenerate matter. Little more than the ashes of stars.
And
Their constituent
essentially
atoms are
empty
so
husks.
severely crushed that black dwarfs are 1,000,000 times denser than our sun.
Holy shit, look how fast the time's going now.
Stars take so long to reach this point.
This is long into the future, bro. This is long into the future. Wait, what's the... We are barely a quarter of the way into the video. How we got so long left? We're this far in. Holy crap. Any matter that fails to escape is sucked into a galaxy. Sucked into a black hole, I mean. Long dormant black holes flare up. $1 million trillion years. So black holes are the last source of power, apparently.
We have a pace of life that's based on really the energy available to us now. You could imagine living conscious systems which have a very different pace and therefore can extend out at least a lot farther than you'd imagine otherwise. You could have a living system where if it had a thought every 10 trillion years, that would seem normal.
A living system.
Even if our life dies out, one could imagine at some time arbitrarily far in the future, a fluctuation occurs which allows intelligent life to exist again for a little while.
A different form of life.
So you might have islands in time of intelligence.
$10 billion trillion years. Expansion of space. Yeah, because at this point galaxies are going to be so far spread apart from each other, like probably won't even know other galaxies exist at this point, because you wouldn't be able to see anything if you were around then. If you would be around then.
A proton,
Oh, this Hawking radiation.
of atomic matter, of what makes us up, can just spontaneously fall apart.
Any material that evades the pull of a black hole eventually dies away as its protons disintegrate.
Is unproven, yeah. It's just a theory at the moment. Done.
The matter inside black dwarfs, the last matter in the universe, will eventually evaporate away and be carried off into the void as radiation, leaving absolutely nothing behind.
Wow.
With the black dwarfs gone, there won't be a single atom of matter left.
Now you've got literally nothing left in the universe. You got an empty universe consisting of random floating particles, atoms, and no stars, no planets, no asteroids, no gas. Just black holes everywhere. Oh, and particles, light.
All that will remain of our once rich cosmos will be particles of light and black holes.
Does light die? Does light disappear? I mean, where does light go? What is light? Light. They say light is a wave and a particle. It can behave as both. Because technically, if you shoot a wave out into the distance, it goes on forever. But it weakens over time, but it goes on forever. Who knows? Time has just begun to tick. On the scale of human life, universe has just emerged from the womb. Bro. We are nowhere near like the lifetime of the universe, apparently. Huge. Crazy. There's 36 million trillion years. Right now, the universe is what, 14 billion years old? This is all dark and empty. Now the cosmos will spend most of its life just an empty void. Only in a brief moment it can...
The arrow of time creates a bright window in the universe's adolescence, during which life is possible.
Okay, so this is in the future, and you
But
might
it's a
have
window that doesn't stay open for long.
But on
As a
what?
fraction of the
There's no
lifespan of the
planets around at
universe,
this time.
As measured from its beginning to the evaporation of the last black hole, life as we know it is only possible for 1,000th of a billion billionth billionth of a percent.
That number is crazy. Us being here is that rare. What does that tell you? We are not here by mistake.
Black holes become the fundamental building block of the universe. A galaxy will basically be a supermassive black hole in a center with smaller black holes orbiting it.
Zombie galaxies filled with black holes continue to evolve.
Zombie galaxies.
They'll eat each other and they'll get bigger, and maybe they'll fall into the supermassive black hole and it'll get bigger. The universe will still be an exciting, dynamic place. It's just that the timescales you're talking about are now trillions of years instead of thousands or millions of years.
Black hole mergers.
Black holes can bang on space-time like mallets on a drum. And they have a very characteristic song. Imagine two black holes that have lived a long life together. At the end of their lives, they're going around each other, crossing thousands of kilometers in a fraction of a second. As they do so, they leave behind in their wake a ringing of space, an actual wave on space-time.
I mean, I guess it sort of would, because black holes
Space squeezes and stretches as it emanates
are like
out
one
from
of the
these
only
black
things
holes
that
banging on the universe.
affect, you know, gravity and space and time. Like they warp everything. So for them to be swishing around each other, the faster they went, the more chaotic it would shake the space around them, the space and time.
Those are the gravitational waves. They are literally the sounds of space ringing. And they will travel out from these black holes at the speed of light as they ring down and coalesce to one spinning, quiet black hole. If you were standing near enough, your ear would resonate with the squeezing and stretching of space. You would literally hear the sound. Imagine a lighter black hole falling into a very heavy black hole. The sound you're hearing is a light black hole banging on space each time it gets close.
I wonder what that would sound like.
As it falls in, it gets faster and it gets louder.
Scientists used to think black holes were immortal, but even these will one day die.
Now we're talking about timescales of unimaginable length, quadrillions of years into the future. On that timescale, even the black holes begin to evaporate.
Oh no, this is Hawking radiation, not the other thing I said.
According to quantum mechanics, space is filled with virtual particles, and antiparticles, that are constantly materializing in pairs, separating, coming together again, and annihilating each other. In the presence of a black hole, one member of a pair of virtual particles may fall into the hole, leaving the other member without a partner with which to annihilate. The forsaken particle appears to be radiation emitted by the black hole. And so, black holes are not eternal. They evaporate away at an increasing rate until they vanish in a gigantic explosion. Quantum mechanics has allowed particles and radiation to escape from the ultimate prison, a black hole.
The jolly music. Oh, you got fireworks now. This black hole exploding up here, don't mind me. $500 million trillion years. That time scale is crazy. The black holes slowly die off. The universe continues to expand. I missed. We don't. Is that not like dark energy or dark matter? I think it's dark energy.
Philosophers and poets have asked the question, will the world end in fire or ice? We can now give an answer. The latest evidence shows that the universe is not slowing down, but it's speeding up out of control. And the universe, we think, will die in ice. Trillions upon trillions of years from now.
Empty space itself has energy. In every little cubic centimeter of space, whether or not there's stuff, whether or not there's particles, matter, radiation,
It might not be stuff, but there is energy.
Even in the space itself. And this energy, according to Einstein, exerts a push on the universe.
What is the weird stuff that's accelerating the universe? We call it dark energy. And this stuff is the dominant stuff of the universe. Almost 3/4 of the matter energy content of the universe is this dark energy. And we don't know.
Dark energy is like anti-gravity. So if gravity pulls everything together, dark energy pushes it, causing the universe to expand. Dark energy was not there. Universe would not be expanding. If dark energy just magically disappeared, everything in the universe would just come crushing back down. Based on how far it's expanded and on how much of a vacuum there would be, that thing would collapse on itself so quick. Apparently, dark energy is a thing we do not understand, but it's there, pushing everything out and far and wide.
What it is.
Dark energy, unlike matter or radiation, does not dilute away as the universe expands. This has crucial implications for what the universe is going to do in the future.
So what will be the future of the universe? Well, if the dark energy remains dominant and repulsive, the universe will expand forever.
Damn, that's crazy.
Faster and faster and faster with time. A runaway universe.
70% of the energy of the universe resides in empty space, and we don't understand why. But we do know what will happen. If that energy continues to be there, the universe will become cold and dark and empty. That's the future as it might be. We don't know because we don't yet understand the nature of dark energy. Until we do, we won't know the future. We won't even understand our own origins, and that's why we want to know and study this subject.
Yeah, if it weakens somehow, like I was saying, if it disappears, the universe is just gonna fall back on itself. Even a boost, it could tear the universe apart, yeah. Like I said at the start of the video. Could be multiple universes beyond our own. Hey, you never know. There is multiple, dimensions. There could also be multiple universes.
The forecast does seem to be for an ever colder, ever emptier universe.
Almost over.
But then, of course, we have to ask,
5 minutes.
Could that end lead to a new beginning? And
How would it, though?
Whereby what actually is the end of our universe could, in some sense, be linked to the beginning of a new one.
We've worked out the mathematics, the equations. They seem to say that if you have an atom smasher that can concentrate tremendous amounts of energy at a single point,
Oh, we're talking about the
you can perhaps open up
Hadron Collider now.
a baby universe. Facing the death of everything there is, this perhaps is their only possibility of escape. And this also raises a very intriguing possibility, sheer speculation, of course, that perhaps any universe that has intelligent life in it will create baby universes, will create lifeboats, and proliferate child universes. So an evolution may take among universes in the multiverse. Survival of the fittest may take place.
In terms
So
of
those
universes
which do not have intelligent life are infertile. They have no children. But those universes that have mild temperatures, stars like us, would create civilizations that could open up child universes, and they would then proliferate.
That's an interesting theory. Interesting way of looking at it. So the last one dies, it bathes in universal light for the last time. That is interesting and, you know, pretty sad to think about, but we're talking like, what is that, 300 billion trillion years.
After an unimaginable length of time, even the black holes will have evaporated, and the universe will be nothing but a sea of photons gradually tending towards the same temperature as the expansion of the universe cools them towards absolute zero. Once the very last remnants of the very last stars have finally decayed away to nothing, and everything reaches the same temperature, the story of the universe finally comes to an end. For the first time in its life, the universe will be permanent and unchanging. Entropy finally stops increasing because the cosmos cannot get any more disordered. Nothing happens, and it keeps not happening forever.
Nothing happens, and it keeps not happening forever. That's crazy. The time just does not mean anything anymore. Nothing's gonna happen again forever. Yeah? Nothing's moving in the universe, nothing's being created, nothing's dying. It's just blank. It's a blank canvas. Crafted by Melody Sheep. Sponsored by Protocol Labs. Alright guys, if you do, if you're enjoying it, go check out their channel. Check out, is this channel called Melody Sheep? Check out Melody Sheep. They make very cool videos, especially like this one. I really enjoy it. So, and subscribe to me as well. So, if you do want me to react to anything like this, you just let me know. Alright, yeah, that was Time-Lapse of the Future, a journey to the end of time. That was actually a very entertaining and very informative and cool video to watch. Getting to, I pretty much know a lot of, like, not that much stuff, but it's a few things like this because I love learning about space and things like this. So I've done a bit of reading and watched a few videos, so good to get a little refresher. That being said, I'll see if I can find any other interesting videos to do reaction to, but if I can't, you guys let me know what you want me to react to in the comments. That being said, I guess I'll see you guys next time. I hope you enjoyed this video. Peace.